My name's Ben Horan and I'm the headmaster of Prior Park College. We had a brilliant open morning last Saturday. Loads of parents attended and they brought their children along to see all of the wonderful things that we do here at Prior Park. Having reflected upon it after the day, we thought that it might make sense for the speech that I delivered then to be recorded so that all of our prospective parents, even those who were unable to make it to the open morning itself, could hear everything about our school. It was a pleasure to welcome so many parents to our school on Saturday. I originally gave this speech in our beautiful chapel at the heart of our beautiful school on a beautiful sun-kissed morning. Before I started, I spoke to all of the young people listening and said that I was sure that they had all, sometimes, had to sit down and listen to their parents have a really boring conversation, which they don't really get all the details of. And I remember when I was about their age, sitting at the top of the stairs when my mum and dad had a dinner party, and I listened to them talk and laugh without really understanding what they were talking or laughing about. For the youngsters there on Saturday, this talk was a little bit like that. This is a talk for you, the parents and the grown-ups. Now, in many ways, this talk will be like the worst dinner party that you have ever been to. There's no food being served. There's not a particularly nice selection of wine and cheeses. And I'm going to be breaking some of the golden rules for polite conversation. You know, the ones that say that you shouldn't talk about politics, religion, and money. Well, sorry folks, but I'm going to touch on all three. I'll start with the politics. Today, for the first time in the history of this country, we have a government which is proposing to tax education. We have a government acting contrary to EU law and even, you might say, against natural law. They are not protecting the education of all young people, and instead they are politicising schools. It feels like they are punishing people's aspirations, their hopes and their dreams. Now, last week I was at a conference and I spent 3 days with other private school heads, hundreds of them. The head of every private school that every parent who may be watching this video has been looking at was at this same conference. Nearly every head teacher that I saw was gloomy and down in the dumps. And as I walked about this conference, I couldn't help thinking, why? Why is everybody so down? Why don't these heads believe? Why don't they believe in their schools? Why don't they believe in their students? And why don't they believe in their teachers? Why don't they believe that their schools can still be a place of hope? That they can rise to meet those aspirations and to fulfill those dreams that parents and young people have? Now, I try to keep my ear to the ground, and I've heard from a lot of parents that some of the other open days that they've attended over the past few weeks have felt a little flat. And if that's true, then this gloominess may explain why. I worry that many schools might feel flat because they've started to lose belief in what they are doing. And when schools lose that belief, then so do their young people. And that is incredibly damaging. Young people have to believe in their school. They have to believe in their teachers. And they have to believe in each other. And then they can believe in themselves. I want to talk to you all about why I believe in Prior Park. What is it that makes me so positive about this school? Well, in a word, it's because of our community. I know that Bath is full of good schools. I know that young people can and will be successful at many other schools in this city. However, I am not convinced that they will be both happy and successful in those other schools. I know that here at Prior, our students are both happy and successful in that order. Now, to test whether I was right about this, I recently talked to some students who'd only just joined us. I spoke to several students in various year groups, and all of them had come to us from one of the other Bath independent schools this year. So they've only been at Prior for 4 weeks or so. And a year 10 student said to me, quite poetically actually, that when it rained at her last school, it was a sad place to be, and that student behaviour disintegrated. She said, in contrast, that when the rain falls at Prior, everyone still feels happy. Given the amount of rain we've had in the last few weeks, I'm pretty glad to hear that. Now, one of these students told me that Prior Park felt different to their last school because they knew that Prior cared about the person underneath. This was echoed by another pupil who said to me that at Prior, it felt that the children were people before they were students, which was markedly different to their last school. And a word that all these young people used about our school was inclusive. They know that they are part of a community, and all our young people believe that they are known, they believe that they are valued, and they believe that they are loved. And they believe all of these things because here they're true. Now remember, these students have only been here for about a month, and this school has already made a massive difference to their lives. I heard a parent with a child here and another child at a different Bath school talk about the fact that at the other school, they felt that they got a lot of hype and spin about caring for their child. But here at Prior, they felt the reality of what proper care looked like every single day. I'm going to give you one clear example of how Prior Park does things differently. Every young person here, from year 7 through to year 11, hands in their mobile phone before school starts at 8:30. They don't get it back for the next 8 hours. Other schools talk about being phone free because phones there should be neither seen nor heard, like a Victorian child. We used to have that system, and do you know what? It doesn't work. Phones are invasive. Social media is invasive. And how many of the adults watching this video right now might feel a little twitchy because they haven't checked their messages in a while? Be honest. Young people can't work with that pressure. And here at Prior, we know that young people need protection from being able to access social media throughout the day. We know that they need time to just be. They need time and space to grow. They need the room to be me that we advocate both here and at the Paragon School. We were the first secondary school in this part of the world to take such a radical step on mobile phones. We won't be the last. Was becoming a phone-free school easy? No. Did it take courage? Yes. However, our staff, our parents, and eventually our students know that we took a tough decision because we care about them. We did it because we reckoned it would make them both happier and more successful. And do you know what? It has. Our academic outcomes are superb. More than 50% of our GCSE grades this year were at a grade 7 or above, an A grade in old money. More than 40% of our A-level grades were either an A-star or an A. These are impressive. But more impressive is that these grades were achieved without our young people being in a hothouse. These grades were all achieved in a nurturing environment, an environment where our students take every opportunity to discover both who they are and who they want to be. These grades were achieved in a school where no young person was asked to leave us at the end of year 11 because they were not cutting it academically. We are not that type of school. Now, I said I was going to break 2 other dinner party conversational taboos. So next up, religion. Many of you will have seen the news in the local and the national press that Prior Park is no longer a Catholic school. We are instead a Christian school in the Catholic tradition. So why did we take that decision? We took it because of how the young people I spoke about described our school. They spoke of Prior Park as being inclusive, and they are right. We are a school which is inclusive. We are a school for all faiths and none. And we are now a school which gives young people choice in the subjects they study, rather than forcing them to study subjects they might not want to. We are now a school which can and does celebrate and not just tolerate all the young people we have here. We believe in all our young people and the world that they are going to go on to make. We are a community that's proud to have faith at our heart. Our whole school assemblies, our congregational practices, and our whole school masses are a valuable community, cultural and spiritual experience for all our students. However, we are not a community where young people are forced into the academic study of religion when their interests or strengths may very well lie elsewhere. We do not allow religion to restrict a young person's academic choices. Our approach to religion shows us as a school which is fit for the 21st century. We were the first large Catholic independent school to make this change. We won't be the last. And now for the final thing that you shouldn't talk about at a dinner party: money. The truth is that all of the parents who may be considering sending their children here know that private education is going to cost more because of the imposition of VAT on school fees. There are schools out there wringing their hands about VAT. There are schools launching legal challenges against it. They are not thinking about how to deal with it. They're just thinking about how to stop it. Now, I'm as cross about this education tax as anyone. However, I know I can't stop it. I'm a history teacher. I know well enough that Parliament is sovereign. So here at Prior, we have been dealing with it. We are in an incredibly strong financial position, thanks to careful stewardship over the past 5 years. As a result, we wrote to our parents over the summer to say that we would not be passing the full 20% onto them this academic year, and instead we would absorb some of that cost ourselves. We were the first school in Bath to take this approach, but we were not the last. And equally, we were the first school in Bath to announce only a few days ago that we will not have any inflationary increases applied to our gross fees for the next academic year. I doubt that we will be the last. We are committed to making education at Prior Park as affordable as it can be for parents. We are not dealing with heaps of debt like some other schools, and we are working with our parents to do what we can to help lessen the burden of this ideologically motivated tax. We aren't whinging, we're acting. And that's why we're going to thrive. And it's also why we're going to lead. I hope I've told you all what I believe about Prior Park. But I want all of the parents considering Prior to ask themselves one simple question. What do you believe? Do you believe that education matters? Do you think that your child's school should be a place where young people can be and are both happy and successful? Do you want your child to join a school that fears an uncertain future or a school that believes in itself? Prior Park is a remarkable school with remarkable teachers and truly remarkable students. We are a school which makes a difference to all our young people and which will, I believe, make a difference to your family. Ask yourself again, what do you believe? If you believe in hope, if you believe that one school can make a real difference to your child's happiness and their outcomes, then we look forward to seeing you here soon.